Alright everyone, finally I'm back to making videos. Where I'm gonna go back to the grind. I'm gonna make as much videos as I can again. I've been missing out on a lot. So here we are. Now that the Madoka Magica crossover is almost gone, I am going to talk about all the units in that crossover and I'm just going to rank them. I'm going to make two different tier lists. One tier list for general people, for the majority of the Grand Summoners player base, and just including veterans, but also just decent players and all that kind of stuff. And I'm also going to make another tier list, like in this video, where I'm just going to note down the difference between those players and new players, or players that don't have a lot and don't play much, and that kind of stuff. So I am going to talk about the, in my opinion, worst unit first, and then best unit last. And make sure to watch the, not watch till the end of the video, but at the end of the video to see the tier list that I mean, because one is different than the other, because it depends on what kind of account you have. So anyway, now that I've said that, let's get over with the first unit. So unfortunately, I first disagree with it, but now, the more I play, the more I've seen her, the more content, etc, etc. The last unit, or the worst unit, is Mami. Now, of course, even though she is the last unit, she is not bad by all means. She is still a decent unit. It's just all the other units are better than her. So Mami is good. Don't get me wrong, but I did get the wrong idea about her, because I thought she will excel at breaking and excel at dealing damage, because that's what the kid is about. It's one of these units where she's two units in one, which she still kind of is. I wasn't entirely wrong about that, but she just doesn't excel at it. It's just that she's not that good. Unfortunately, that is the case. Which is why I will put Mami in the last place, because yes, sure, she is a good breaker, and she does actually deal good damage for a breaker. But there are just better replacements. There are better replacements. And look, there are better replacements for every single unit in the game, unless they are the best replacements. But they're just, it depends on how good the difference is between one and the other. So Mami and Platina, Ascendant Platina is a massive difference. Ascendant Platina is way better than Mami. So it all depends on the difference between every character. And unfortunately, Mami is just not that good. Her slots are okay. It's physical, magical support. The support 4-star is nice, but the magic 5-star, I don't know how I feel about that. She also gives that barrier to herself with her skill, which is great when you have a taunt tank. But if you don't have a taunt tank, if you're using a shooter, it's terrible. So yeah, but she does give all human allies 20 arts, which is, you can't overlook it. It's really good. So yeah, and then she has this stacking physical damage up and break power up. It's really nice. Her true arts is okay, and then her super arts, yeah, she's a weird unit. She's a breaker, but she's not. Well, no, she is a breaker, but she also DPS, and it's it makes it really weird. Ultimately, she is an okay unit. She's not bad. Her damage is really good for a breaker. She has defense ignore passively, and she gets increases attack. She has the attack break ratio, so it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, she's not a bad unit at all. But yeah, there are better units. So unfortunately, Mami is going to be in the 5th place. Now, in the 4th place is going to be Homura. Homura, I underestimated. She is better than I thought, but just because she's better than I thought doesn't mean she's that good, because Homura, the same goes for Mami, same goes for Homura. There are just better replacements. She is a DPS, and that's all. She is a DPS. And yes, I know you're probably going to say, yes, but she has true arts, and her true arts increases all electricity speed by 50%. Yes, but you don't want to use that. I know that the animation is fun with the truck, but you don't want to use her true arts, because that is you're basically wasting 200 arts. Now, if you have a team where you need equipment speed and you just can't replace any of the slots, whatever your team is, and you're I need equipment speed, but I also need that damage, and I can't replace anybody else, otherwise I'll lose. And then you put Homura in, sure, you can use the true arts, but then again, you'll be losing damage. Because what I have seen, or what I've done myself, I don't have Homura on my main, but I have it on my JP account, and you want to use your arts whenever you're not in a wave that has a boss. As soon as you're in the wave that has a boss, you just want to use your super arts, because that's pretty much all her damage. And using anything else is not, it's a waste, if that makes sense. So this is why I don't recommend you doing that, because you're just wasting damage. And you know, she is a DPS. You just want to use her arts and super arts. And you know, when you're at the boss or whatever, just use your super arts, because that's what she is, a damage dealer. She's super crit, she has normal crit, you know, passively, it's really good. It's actually really good. She even refreshes her own, her own equips with her super arts 2 times, and it's really good. And speaking about her equips, 6-star physical, 5-star support, 4-star magic, and at LP7 4-star physical, really good slots. I gotta admit, she has some really good slots. Even though magic could have been physical, like the other way around, it's still a really good slot. Because like we all know that magic slots are 4-star magic slots are terrible, but it's still, you know, it's not too bad. It could have been a heal, which in my opinion, if it would have been a heal, it would have been a lot worse, because 4-star heals are just the worst unless it's not for DPS. But yeah, she has really good slots. Her true weapon is actually pretty good too. I didn't even talk about Mami's true weapon because it's terrible. But yeah, no, Homura's true weapon, it's actually good. And yeah, overall, Mami is a good unit. She's a very high DPS unit, but there's just better options. But of course, again, if you don't have a DPS, or if you don't have a dark DPS and all that kind of stuff, she is a good pickup. She is a great pickup, and the same goes for Mami, because if you don't have a breaker, great pickup. But yeah, I don't know. She doesn't shine. Homura does not shine. However, Kyoko does shine, because she is a DPS, but not just a DPS. She gives arts gen, and I'm not just talking about her arts, I'm talking about her passive. Her passive is I love her passive. 50 arts to the entire team every single wave. Now that is one of a passive, because it's just so much arts gen for existing. And then on top of that, she has arts gen with her arts, which depend on, like, if they're fire or water units, they get even more arts. Like, that is insane. Like, she is a great unit. And on top of that, she also has a 5-star support slot, which is even more arts. And like, yeah, no, Kyoko slots, amazing. She, unfortunately, what I just spoke about, does have a 4-star heal equip slot, sorry. But at LB7, she does have a physical, but then again, you might not get her LB7 or don't want her LB7. And yeah, so unfortunately, she does have a 4-star heal slot, which is not the best, but it's okay. Like, it's okay, because the 6-star physical and 5-star support make up for it. Same goes for Homura. But Homura does have a 4-star heal. So anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, Kyoko, outside of her arts gen, she does so much damage. Like, even though Homura super crits, Kyoko somehow outshines her. And not all the time, but she does in a way, because her super arts allowing her to deal 300% more damage and 300% more attack increase, depending on how high HP she is, which she should always be at full HP, is insane. That is so insane. The damage increase that she gets is wow. Like, it is wow. And on top of that, she also does fire and water rest 100% down with her true art, which is even more damage for herself and your entire team, and it's just amazing. On top of that, she also has lifesteal at all times, so like, if somehow she is taking damage and there is a taunt in your team, she'll just heal it back, because there's no restrictions. There's not like only lifesteal when you are below 10% HP or like whatever. No, it's like lifesteal at all times, and that just makes her great. It makes her great. She is a great unit, definitely a worthy pickup, and yeah, awesome unit. She also has Hellfire resistance, you know, she's good in Hellfire stages, and you know, yeah, great, absolutely great unit. But now, on second place, which might surprise a lot of you, is going to be Sayaka. Now, Sayaka is an insane unit. This applies for almost every single player in the, in Grand Summoners. But of course, if you have a taunt tank, depending on who the taunt tank is, you might not need her. So, taunt tanks. First of all, just let me make it very clear. Once you have a taunt tank, let's say you've never had a taunt tank before. Once you get a taunt tank and you use that taunt tank, you will taste the the enjoyment of having a taunting. You will be less scared of dying. You'll be less worried. You will know that your characters are safe. You know that you just need to protect the taunting and nobody else. You know that none of your units are gonna get, you know, any D-status elements or any of that sort. Like your units are not dying because a taunting exists in your team. And having that taunting, it's just like it's amazing. And that is what Sayaka is. Sayaka is a taunting. Now, she is second spot for this crossover because she is one of a taunting. She is an insane taunting. She has 2 revives. On top of that, she also has a 4-star heal slot, which allows her to get another revive. So that's 3 revives on a single unit. And it's a taunting. So she's basically almost never dying. Except that's not the case. She is dying. Because unlike most tauntings, she gets no damage resist whatsoever. Well, no, not whatsoever. She does get 35% damage resist when she's near death. And yes, although that is true, that is all she gets. She gets just 35% damage resist near death. That's it. And yes, you might probably say, oh, but what about the critical resistance? She gets 70% critical. Yeah, that's great. I'm not denying that. But you are either 1, almost never going to have to, worry about that. Or 2, when there is a boss that crits, they probably will have 999,000 crit rate. So they'll crit anyways. Because unfortunately, because what I thought at first is that it means that you take 70% less crit damage. That's not the case. It's just a 70% less chance of getting crit on. And with that being said, it's not as good as you think it is. And it's not as good as you think it is, unfortunately. So, now that I've said that, Sayaka though, she is a great taunting because she has a lot in her kit because she gives all allies attack and physical damage up by 300% up to 300% depending on how low she is. Now that is crazy because 300% attack for her super arts to the entire team. Yeah, that's pretty good, and it's for 45 seconds. That is extremely long. But when we go to her true arch, she gets a 37,000 damage barrier to herself, which is really nice, but that's it. No damage reduction whatsoever. And that's kind of what throws her off. But what I do really like is on her arch that she gives defense and equip CT speed. Let's say you have a team that provides no equip CT speed whatsoever. You can just throw an arch in there once a while to get that 25% or 30% equip CT speed. That is amazing. That is really, really good. Like, having equip CT speed on a taunt tank is wow. Like, that provides so much for your team. You might need that little bit of equipity speed, so you want slot and another unit in there, but you know what, Sayaka has it, so you're like, oh, never mind, I don't have to worry about it. And that's amazing. That's what I love about Sayaka. But now that I've said all of that, I do just want to say super quickly, there are people who are saying that Sayaka is better than Toma or the best taunt tank in the game. I absolutely disagree. That is not true. There is no better taunt tank than Toma. Right now, Toma is undefeatable. He cannot be beaten by any taunt tank in the game. And just quickly going, this is not a video about Toma, but just quickly explaining why. His true weapon. His true weapon, just like his entire kit, obviously, but his true weapon is just the cherry on the cake. Because what do you mean it gives passively 30% damage resist? That is just that you can't beat that. Because of that true weapon, you can have 2 GC equips that have Truth of Eternity on them. One of them is what is it called when you make it their equip, whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it right now. But because 2 GC equips means that you're losing stats, because GC equip doesn't give stats unless you unless you make it theirs, whatever it's called. And you know what I'm talking about. And so he or any taunt tank will have 2 GC equips, any taunt tank will have 3 GC equips unless you use that true weapon, and then 2 GC equips, which one of them you can make theirs, and then you can throw a little bit of attack, defense or HP on there. But with Toma only needs 2, because his true weapon gives 30% damage resist. There is no taunt tank in the game that gives 30% damage resist at all times. He doesn't need to be low, none of that sort. It's just 30% damage resist passively on his true weapon. And that's what makes him broken. because of that you can have 2 extra GC equips, one of them being being theirs, and then you can give some extra stats, and then the other one just being a GC equip with no extra stats. And that is just dude, that is so broken, because Sayaka doesn't have this. Sayaka's true weapon gives flinch rest, which Toma has built in passively, and it also gives all status up, which is really nice, don't get me wrong. And yeah, I don't know, I can't see how people are saying that Sayaka is better than all other, or the best Tantek in the game. I feel I cannot agree with that. I could even argue that Kirisame could be better than Sayaka, but then again, what Sayaka makes what the best part about Sayaka is the arch gen that she gives. She gives passive arch gen to all female units, and yes, sure, it's female units, but it's still passive arch gen on a Tantek. No Tantek does that. Again, same goes with Toma's true weapon. No Tantek gives passive arch gen, and arch gen over time. 4 arts a second for all female units, and 6 arts a second when she's low. That is insane. That is the best part about Sayaka. So by all means, she is not a bad Tantek. She is. I could argue that she's the second best Tantek in the game, but she is not even close to Toma. Not even close to Toma. That 2 revives does not make her better than Toma at all. I don't know how people can agree with that, because I disagree entirely. This is the only I always say in my videos, make your own decisions, pick whoever you like the most, pick whoever you feel confident the most. I will still say that. But when it comes to this one, the Sayaka being better than Toma, I have to say I'm disagreeing. That is not true. Toma is far better than Sayaka, far better. So I just want to make that clear. Anyway, again, I just said though, pick whoever you want. If you like Sayaka, if you prefer her over Toma, absolutely pick her. That is your choice. You do not have to listen to anyone, including me. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so Sayaka, absolutely great unit. Great. Genuinely, she's second best on deck in the game. Definitely. And she will be really good in new content that might come in the future. And yeah, amazing unit. Seriously, yeah, really good unit. And then last but not least is actually Madoka. Now I know that Madoka is the only unit that I own, and that is not the reason that I put her on first place. Because I do have all the other units on JP. No, I put her in first place because she is someone that will be future proof, if that makes sense. In the future, it will be very crazy if there will be someone that does the same things as her, because she has multiple kits of multiple units in her own kit, and she is a Shiro with a tiny bit of free run, with a tiny bit of a healer. I don't know what healer, just a healer, and then a little bit of Hoka, and then also a she is everything in one. Her entire kit is just everything. The only thing that she is lacking in her kit is Archgen. That's it. Because yeah, sure, okay, she gets Archgen with her skill, but that's just for herself. I'm talking providing Archgen, because she gets 25% magic resist to all allies with her arch, and then a barrier to all allies that negates 12,000 damage for 25 seconds. That is far, far, far better than any shield in the game. And then her true arch cleanses. It cleanses on top of giving all status up by 40% to all allies. Yeah, nobody does this. Nobody does this in a single kit. And then just to finish it off, she gives 100% crit rate and 100% crit damage with his 2 parts. On top of cleansing 1 damage resist debuff. And we all know, damage resist debuff, nobody does that. Nobody cleanses that in the game except Frieren and Kirisame for himself. Because Frieren cleanses it for 1 random ally, and Madoka cleanses it for all allies. So 1 damage resist debuff cleanse for all allies. That's insane. That is so insane. And her passives are meh. I have to agree, her passives are meh. Of course, excluding her own passive, which is increases all allies damage resistance by 30%. Passively, just like that. You don't have to be in unlimited blade works or anything. And I'm not saying Shiro is bad. I'm just saying Madoka is not, because I have seen people say that Shiro is still better than Madoka. No, he's not. I mean, if you love Shiro, yeah, sure, he is. But he is not. Because Madoka literally does what Shiro does, but better. And I'm talking literally because Shiro gives a barrier to all allies for 10 seconds, 20 seconds when he's in Unlimited Blade Works. And he gives damage resist to all allies, but when he's in Unlimited Blade Works. Madoka doesn't need to be in Unlimited Blade Works. So you get my point. And then also the damage increase and the crit rate. Oh my god, she is so good. So why I put her in first place is because of the fact that I can see that she will be used in the future. Like, she is, to put it this way, she is the best flex unit in the game. Like, if you need multiple units in one unit, she is the one to go. Because she doesn't have to be mono light whatsoever. She has nothing with light units. She is good for every single unit, which makes her even better. She's not tied to like, oh yeah, 40% stat increase only when they're light, like, you know, that kind of stuff. No, she is good for every single unit in the game, and that's what makes her insanely powerful. She is basically the best flex unit in the game. She is what's the word again? Future proof. Sorry, she is future proof. And that's why I put her in first spot. And I can't say the same for Sayaka, because guess what? Toma's better than her. You get my point? So this is why I have decided to this to be my tier list. So for all you like veterans out there, and I'm not talking about the well no, let me just So for all the veterans out there, for all the good players out there, decent players out there, my tier list is Madoka first, best unit in this crossover. Sayaka second, insane taunt tank. Kyoko third, very good DPS, very nice arch gener, insane unit. Homura fourth, very good unit too, but there's just better options. And then Mami fifth, because unfortunately, even though she's a breaker, which is really good, there are better units than her. So that's, you know, that's unfortunately the case. However, when it comes to newer players or players that don't have a lot, if you don't have taunt tank, Sayaka first. I don't care what anybody, you shouldn't listen to what anybody says. If you care about meta and if you care about making this game easy, Sayaka first. Pity her. Absolutely pity worthy. Just grab her. Seriously, like, it's so important to have a taunt tank in your game. Like I said before, the taste of getting a taunt tank on your account, it will change your life, basically. That's how crazy taunt tanks are. So just remember that. If you do have a taunt tank, she goes a bit lower, but that depends on what taunt tank you have. You know, if you have Toma, you absolutely do not need Sayaka. You don't need her. But it's always nice to have multiple taunt tanks when it comes to things like Grand Crusade and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, but, you know, it's not as important. So, second would be Kyoko. So, it's Madoka first. Sayaka, well, no, sorry, no, not Madoka. It's Sayaka first. And then, if you already have a taunt tank, it's Kyoko first, because she provides arch-gen and she provides damage, and we as a new player, you need that. Yeah, that 50 arch-gen a wave, oh my, that's gonna help you so much, because you're probably not gonna have arch-geners, and having Kyoko and Sayaka, that's it, you're settled. You are relaxing for a good few months, whatever, like, depending on what content you do, like, you'll be chilling, because Kyoko and Sayaka can clear a lot together, like just them two. So yeah, trust me, Kyoko, Sayaka, great combination. But like I said, if you already have a taunt tank, Kyoko would be first. Kyoko, I would personally put Kyoko first. If you already have a taunt tank, and if you already have a taunt tank, I would put Madoka second, because a taunt tank is not the same as a shooter. Madoka is a shooter and a healer and a little bit of everything. But because if there is a stage that is a taunt tank killer, that's it, you're done for. You can't do anything about it, you're done for. So you need a shielder. And Madoka, yeah, that's it. That's where Madoka steps in. So Madoka, insane unit as well. But of course, there are also stages that ignore shielding. And so it all depends on the stage that you're doing and the units that you have. But if you don't have a taunt tank, Sayaka first. If you do have a taunt tank, Kyoko first. And after Kyoko comes Madoka, because shielder, very importantly needed. And then on the third place, you have Mami. Why Mami? Because why would you pick Homura over Kyoko? If you want a DPS, don't pick Homura, pick Kyoko. And of course, this is not, if you like Homura, then pick her. But if you don't, pick Kyoko, because she is a better DPS. She does what Homura does, but more. So there is no reason for you whatsoever to pick Homura over Kyoko. So yeah, so Mami is going to be third, because you need a breaker. If your count doesn't have a breaker, you need a breaker. It's as simple as that. And Mami is a breaker. Even though she's not the best breaker, she is still a breaker. And that can set you for a good long time. So this is what I'm saying. Mami is going to be your breaker, which is why I put it on third place. So just to go over it again, Sayaka first, and then if you already have Tantank, Kyoko first, Madoka second, Mami third, and then Homura fourth. Because there's no reason for you to pick Homura if you have Kyoko. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, that's going to be my tier list for the Madoka characters, because honestly, these characters are all okay. They're all pretty good. Madoka and Sayaka are they are the best. But without them, this crossover has been okay. I really like the anime. I've seen the anime when I was very young, and it has left a scar on me because this anime is very traumatizing. But it's a really good anime. So that's why I was really hyped for the anime when it came out. Unfortunately, now it's not as hyped as it was before. Maybe because I summoned 30 times, so I pitied and I didn't get anyone. If that's the case, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I really hope I'm gonna get Kyoko from the reset. I seriously, or at least someone, just anyone. But this crossover was okay. It was okay. But yeah, no. Anyway, so to come to a conclusion, Madoka is the character I did actually pick her. It's a character that I would pick up because after having a long thought about it, she is going to be future proof and she is going to protect your account for the longest. Outside of all, with all the other units, they are not going to perform as good as Madoka will, and I hope you can see why I'm saying this. But again, very, very important. If you don't have a taunt tank, pick Sayaka. Far more important than Madoka. Far more important. But yeah, that's basically going to be it. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm going to make it very clear though. You don't have to absolutely follow what I just said. Make your own decision. This is just a guide, just to give you an idea of who to pick and how good everyone is, etc, etc. So yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped, and good luck on your summons. If you're still summoning, good luck on reset. It's going to be in a few days, along with some other banner where Islet's in again, and I'm probably going to cry. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it. All right, I hope you all have an amazing day. I should talk slower. All right, have a good one, guys. Goodbye.